Good morning, everybody. We're back. Today, I will be filming, after this, a grocery haul and then how I meal prep. So I don't exactly meal prep, but I'll just show you. You have to, I'll put a timestamp of when that is after the lift. We are on incline dumbbell though. Last warm-up set. Shoulders feeling better. Still not perfect, but oh well. I think we're gonna go with 115s today. True set number one. I gave myself way too long of a break between that warm-up and this set, but we'll be fine. Hopefully I can get 6 to 8. I think I got 8 last time, but that was when shoulder was feeling fantastic. So we shall see. I gotta get to the 150s eventually. Yeah, I can definitely feel this in the shoulder, so I'm gonna drop this to, we'll drop to 105 and do one more set. So the concert was pretty fun. We actually didn't stay for the headliner because we wanted to get back early, so we said we were gonna leave at 9:30, and of course Sorry So Far came on at 9:45. But both me and my roommate had already seen Sorry So Far, so we hadn't seen Neck Deep yet, and Neck Deep was fantastic. But the mosh was kind of crazy, and my shoes are absolutely trashed right now. I'm also a little beaten up and bruised, but that's fine. Final set of these. There's also less of a pit and more of just like an ocean's pushing back and forth. I also got a couple knees to the head because I was right where everyone was crowd surfing. It's definitely one of my stabilizers because this weight felt fine. It's only the heavier weight. We're gonna grab a machine now. We've moved over to the Pure Strength. As usual. We got 2 plates on here. We're gonna see how it feels. I'm assuming I'm only gonna get like 5 or 6 because of how my shoulder's feeling, which is fine. Everything's fine. But hey, I don't work today because it's Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day. I don't know which one it is. Or if it's both, I don't know. But I get today off. Let's see how this feels. Nope. Yeah, we're gonna drop it. That was only 5, just like I thought. I don't know if you could tell, but on the left arm, my right arm is way farther ahead. Why do I feel like I'm always broken in some way? I think this will be the last set of pushing. Yeah, this is gonna be the last set of pushing. I dropped it to, instead of 2 plates, a plate and quarter. And then we're gonna do as many reps as possible. As you should, always. I think, at least on the last set for sure. And if you're doing it safe. There's a lot of ifs, ands, or buts. But anyways, I had something to say, but I completely forgot about it because I just rambled on about doing weight. Oh well. Nope. I remembered what I was going to say. So, you know how I was talking about buying a camera? I actually have a gig next Saturday to film a DJ set with my buddy. So instead of buying the camera, I'm renting it for a couple days. And if I like it enough, the rental credit can go towards buying it. But hey, you might see me up on stage. Who knows? Filming, not performing, but I'll be there. So we're actually gonna go a little bit lighter on these because of the shoulder. I'm wondering if because I kept upping the weight on this over and over again without kind of letting the joints recover from it. So we dropped it back down to what I was doing like 3 weeks ago. Just gonna do more reps and then controlled. See if that helps it. Two more sets here. These headphones, they work great sometimes. But the touch sensitivity on the side, like, I can't tell which one is skipping, which one's play, pause. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Or maybe it's just I don't have service right now. It's because I just don't have service right now. Alright, that makes more sense. I think I hit my data limit this month. Yeah, one more set. Yep, I definitely hit my data this month. That's fine, I'll just download all my songs. Final set of chess, and we're gonna make it a fun one because we're gonna drop set it. You gotta have fun in the gym, right? Even if fun means torturing yourself, being more painful. But it's for the gains, remember that. It's funny because it feels so light, but it just won't move. You gotta do some triceps. I'll see you at whatever exercise I find. We're gonna do 3 sets of push times, I think. That should be good enough. It is interesting coming here a little later than normal because I'm not working. Completely different crowd, but I still see like a couple of the same people. Do you guys have people that no matter when you go to the gym, they're always there for some reason? Makes you wonder. Come on. I think when I actually get my new camera, I'm not going to tell anyone. And I'm going to see if people can even notice a difference on YouTube. It should be within the next month if I do purchase it. But we're going to keep it a secret. Yeah, one more. Final set here, and then I think I'll do the overhead machine. It's finally not like a sauna in here today. Usually I feel like I'm drenched by now. I am sweating, but not as bad as normal. Yep, let's move on. Everyone is roasting my fantasy team right now, but I'm 5-0. That felt way heavier than normal. That's fine, still got 7. We'll do 3 here, and then I want to do 7, 6. We'll see what I'll do after. But that's for future meeting. Right now, we're in the present. We're doing this. So in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium, there was the Night Hearts Festival, which was like big EDM festival for, I think it was the first time, I think it was the first ever Night Hearts Festival, now that I think about it. But it was in the parking lot of Snapdragon Stadium. And I've seen so many clips on it. Him was getting FOMO. I look out my window and I could literally see the lasers and the lights hitting the clouds from my like balcony. And that just gave me crazy FOMO last night. But it's okay, we're trying to save money. It's a necessary thing I have to do right now. It sucks, but that's adulting. Gotta pick and choose. You know what? I'm gonna lower the weight and I'm gonna try to get more reps. One more set. Last set, and I have an idea what I'm gonna do for one more set of tries. And it will be in between a couple sets of lateral raises. Yeah, let's do lateral raises. Then I'm gonna spam 1 set of body weight dips. So I'm gonna sit here and spam. I already did 1 set. I'll probably do 4 or 5 sets. I'm gonna run over there right now and do 1 set of tries or dips. We're gonna move over here. We're gonna do 1 set here to failure and then move back over there and finish up with a couple more sets of lateral raises. I want to get back to weighted versions of those soon, but those definitely hurt the shoulder. This is going to be the last set that you guys see. You're a little crooked, but you're going to have to deal with it. All right, that was set number 4. I'm going to do one more. I'll see you in the posing room. Chest day is complete. I'm gonna head home, get a new shirt because my shirt's super sweaty, and then run to the grocery store and we'll do grocery haul, and then I'll kick off all my like meal prep stuff. Some of it takes a while, so it's like not hands-on. I just I throw stuff into a slow cooker. But let's get that going, and then I'm gonna try to go surfing. So I will see you at the grocery store. Maybe. I don't know if I have the confidence to film myself in the grocery store. So I'll either see you at home in the kitchen, or you'll see some clips of the grocery store. Let me sort this out and then I'll show you what I got. It's pretty similar to the last one. First off, we have the protein. I got chicken breast, ground beef, Greek yogurt, egg whites. That will consist of most of my protein, plus I get other protein from protein powder. But 3 pounds, 3 pounds, it's usually what I go for. Moving on, we have condiments and drinks. So I got salsa, sugar-free maple syrup, some poppies, Diet Sprite, and then the Ghost energy drinks were on sale. It was like buy 5 and you save $2 each. So I got 5. Very nice. If we move over here a little bit, this is the fruit section. So I got a lot of bananas, got some apples, frozen pineapple. One thing I started adding was frozen mango too. So I do 50-50 pineapple mango. It's pretty good. I don't know, there's probably some vitamins that I'm getting from both of those. I read or heard that mango is good for your skin, so I wanted to try it. And finally, we have carbs and green stuff. So green stuff, I got some shredded lettuce, spinach, cilantro, and avocado. I also got, I know this isn't green, but I think it's a vegetable. I got some pumpkin. I'm gonna try to make some, I wanna switch up my breakfast every once in a while, and I'll do like protein pancakes, because honestly, the English muffins are getting old, but I still got 2 because it was buy one, get one free, and then, yeah, rice cakes just for snacking. But as you can see, it's pretty similar to what I usually get. All of my grocery hauls generally look like this, and they change a little bit. I did also get some extra, like carne asada meat, but I just threw it in the freezer. All of this came out to like $1.95, and that's the grocery haul. I'm gonna put all this stuff away, and then I'll show you what I do with the chicken breast in the slow cooker, and then I'm gonna go surfing while that cooks, and then come back and yeah, I'll cook up the ground beef and show you what I do with that. So this is what I have found to be, other than grilling. I usually grill my chicken breast, but my grill is broken and I've been too lazy to fix it. So when I don't have the grill, this is what I do. First off, I have 3 pounds of chicken breasts, right? I already had limes, so I didn't have to pick up any limes. Then a bunch of cilantro, and grab your favorite like green salsa. I also have some chili powder, garlic powder, and then this is a mix of cumin, paprika, a bunch of random stuff that I just had sitting around that I threw into here. It's basically taco seasoning. So if you want to just pick up a taco seasoning pack, that works. All you gotta do, first actually, I want to talk about, I get 3 pounds of chicken and then 3 pounds of ground beef because I like to eat 8 ounces a day of each. That's around 50 grams of protein per meal. So this fills 6 out of my 7 days. Why do I do that instead of just getting enough for 7? I don't know. It's just this worked out to be 6 pounds or 3 pounds, and the ground beef stuff is either in 3-pound packs or 1-pound packs. So I got 3. Anyways, Nacho, move. I don't want you up here. So first, I will just take my cilantro and rip off some of it and dice that up nice and thin like. It doesn't have to be perfect because it's gonna be in a slow cooker for 6 hours. I just like to get it into manageable pieces and not just chunks. With the limes, if you didn't know this, if you want your limes to have like easier time juicing, just roll them on the counter before you cut them. So I'm gonna cut these in half. So that's the majority of the prep work. There is one more thing that I like to do. So I'll open up, because you never know how good like the butcher is at these grocery stores. I'll always just check to make sure there's no like bone pieces or anything on the chicken, because sometimes there will be like little shards that you want to obviously take out because you don't want to be biting into those. And if there's like loose fat too, you can take that out. These look pretty good though. So just like that, you throw it all into the slow cooker. I'm gonna wash my hands because I just touched all the chicken. Let me move you over here so you have a better view. Next steps, I don't really measure anything. I just put some garlic powder in there. Just a little bit of chili flakes, or not chili flakes, chili powder. I feel like if you put too much in, you don't really get the spice. It gets like a little bitter. And then some of this taco seasoning. If you just go get 1 packet of taco seasoning, that works too. I'll take 1 jar of salsa. I'll squeeze the limes in, and if you have one of these, this makes it easier. And if you don't want it like super limey, because the green salsa is already a little bit limey to begin with, you can just do 1 lime, but I'm gonna do 2, because chicken breast is pretty plain when it comes to flavor. And then cilantro in. You can use a utensil. I like to just get in and mix it around. People will think like this is gross, but in reality, you're gonna wash your hands anyways. You're touching chicken, so just get in there. Make sure everything is mixed in and good, just like that. I like to clean off the sides as well. I actually don't know why I washed my hands in the first place, because I was just gonna touch the chicken again. And then final step is you just put it on your crock pot, put the lid in, and then I can't remember. I think I do high for 6 hours. Either way, you let that cook. Like it took what, 5 minutes to set this up, and now you can go to work, go do stuff, and this is going. Once this is done, I'll show you, but I'll shred it. You can use like your hands or use 2 forks or something. If you're bougie like me, you can throw it in the stand mixer. So I'll show you that. But right now, I'm gonna let this go. I'm going to have some lunch and go surfing. And when I come back, I'll do the rest of the prep. All right, quick change of plans. I will actually be going on a run now instead of surfing, because I just tried to push myself up and both of my triceps cramped up. And that's not very conducive for good surfing. It makes sense because I just hit a push day. So hopefully I'll be able to go for sunset. Do a sunset surf sesh instead of a sunset run. But we're going to go on a run right now. Anyways, I'll see you later. I don't know. I just ran to where I usually surf. It's a little choppy. I might stick with just running today. We're back. We didn't go surfing. I ran to the beach, looked at the waves. Waves didn't look very great. Then when I was running back, it started raining on me. But we did it. We ran 6 miles in almost exactly an hour. It was like a 10:01 pace, which is good. I definitely pushed it a little bit. The knee feels a little bit swollen, but it's fine. Nothing I haven't felt before. So now, it's only been 4 hours for the slow cooker. So I just checked the temperature. The chicken was at 155. Technically that's fine, but I'm gonna let it go to 165 because FDA. We're gonna cook your beef in the meantime. So got 3 pounds of 90-10 ground beef. I usually get 93.7, but this was on sale and the 93.7 wasn't. And it's not that big of a difference. I don't need this big of a cutting board for this. Oh well. Peel some garlic. This is really the only thing I'm gonna add. When I cook ground beef, it's extremely simple. Let me do this first. Yeah, for my ground beef, it's very simple. I usually just do salt, pepper, garlic, and I'll do garlic powder. But I just realized I have actual garlic, so we're just gonna throw that in there, plus the powder, because I think they do have different flavors. If you don't know how to make or peel garlic really easily, if you cut off the bottom and take your knife and just smash it, it peels right off. You can also do like, I've seen you can use like a metal bowl and shake it. I find this better unless you want like perfect garlic cloves. Most of the time I just smash it up anyways, so smashing it, peeling it works perfectly fine for me. So I'm gonna do that with all of these and be right back. And just like that, all the garlic is separated from the peel. You could sit here and dice it all up, but I have a garlic press, so I'm just gonna use that. I think that's all I'm gonna add to it. I'll also make some rice right now. I know a lot of people, I usually just use a rice cooker, but some people might not have a rice cooker, so I'll show you how to make rice like perfect every single time. It's very simple. Also, if you're not rinsing your rice, what are you doing? It takes like an extra, I don't know, minute, maybe. But I like to just rinse it like 3 times, drain out the water. I don't need it to be perfectly clear after the rinse. But yeah, I just fill it up with a little bit, mix it around, get those like extra starches out, and that is good. So this is 360 grams of rice. I don't measure how much water I put in it. What I do is, I eyeball it. I like to have like a little more than a centimeter, in between a centimeter and an inch above the rice. So once I fill it up with water, you can see how it's like, if you use my pinky for an example, it goes almost all the way up, and my pinky is probably like a little over a centimeter. Yeah, that's what I do. That's how much water. I also just started to salt my rice, because you always like salt your pasta water. You might as well salt your rice too. We're gonna move this over to the stove, put it on high, put a lid on, put a lid on it, and then wait for it to boil. Now we're gonna wait for this to boil on high. Once it starts boiling, my like adjustment goes from a 0 to a 10. I will move it down to like a 3 heat, so like very low, medium, just so that like it doesn't bubble over, if that makes sense. And you'll also set a timer for 15 minutes. So it starts boiling, don't touch it, just lower the heat, press the 15-minute timer. Once that timer is done, turn off the heat, let it sit there for another like 10-15 minutes, and you'll have great rice every time. You don't have to mix it, you don't have to stir it, just leave it. Don't touch it, no touching. So while that is going, I am going to heat up this other pan, a nice big pan like this. Turn the heat on, turn the vent on, and cook the ground beef. I personally heat it up on max heat. This is like a super ultra heat burner, so max heat actually gets like way too hot. But I'll heat it up on max, and then like I said, this goes 0 to a 10. I'll drop it down to like a 6 for the actual cooking. I like to just like hover my hand like a couple inches above the surface to see if it's hot or not. That feels pretty good. So lowering it down to a 6, and then I just, since this already has 10% fat in there, I usually don't add any oil for the ground beef at least. I feel like it has enough to kind of work on its own. But I just dump it in there, all 3 pounds. A true chef would do this in batches so you can get proper browning on every single piece, but I'm a dude who lifts and I eat ground beef and chicken. So I just throw it in there. And you just let it sit on that side for a little bit until it browns up. We're gonna throw the garlic in at the end because you don't want the garlic to burn. So I'll cook everything to pretty close to done, make a little hole in the middle, and then crush the garlic into that hole. I'll show you. I don't know. I've always heard you're supposed to do it that way, so I do it that way. But in the meantime, I will take my salt. And don't be shy on salt, especially if you're working out. If you're anything like me, you sweat a lot. A lot of your sweat is salt. So you kind of need to replenish that salt. Now, if you have any other underlying health concerns, consult your doctor. I am just a guy on the internet who is cooking food. But like if you have to limit sodium, go for it. But I don't limit sodium at all. And then this is this pepper. At this point, this is just like 3 big rectangular sized burgers. I'm gonna season this side. Once I think the other side is brown, I'll flip them, then salt and pepper that. And then once I actually go in and mash it up, then I will throw in garlic powder and the garlic. This thing's still going. It hasn't fully started to boil yet. If it starts like simmering and bubbling, that's not it. You want it to actually start like fully boiling. Then you'll turn it down and start the timer. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. But yeah, during that run when I stopped by the ocean to actually look at the waves, it looked like a storm surge because it was super choppy. I think I did get an iPhone video footage of it, but I don't think it looked as bad on the iPhone as it did in person. It didn't look great, so I'm making an executive decision not to surf today. Also, my legs are kind of cooked because I went way too far. I went way longer than I thought I was going to do when I was running, which is good, but also, yeah. But for now, this has just started to boil up, so it's starting to foam. So I'm going to drop that to a 3. I'm going to click the timer, put 15 minutes on the timer. This is for the rice, by the way. 15 minutes on the timer, dropped it to a 3 out of 10 heat, and now I'm not going to touch it. Just don't touch it. Just leave it be. This stuff I'm going to flip. Also, don't use metal on your ceramic or non-stick. Don't want to scratch it. You see how it got a little bit of browning? I think you can probably see it, maybe not. I'll move this over once I flip. You can see there's a little bit of browning. So now that I flipped it, I've already seasoned the other side. So now we're gonna season this side. And at this point, the heat from the initial heat that caused this browning is kind of gone. And you can kind of see there's liquid coming up. So this other side that I just flipped to won't really get that much browning. So with that being said, I'm gonna just take this and start breaking it all apart. If you were being super strict on your diet, like in prep or anything, what you'd do is you have 3 pounds of ground beef in there, but you would cook it, let it cool off, weigh the total amount, and then divide that by 6, and then portion it that way. I am not that strict right now, so what I do is I just eyeball 6 chunks out of this and then put it into separate containers. And then I know throughout the entirety of the week, I am eating the 3 pounds. It's like give or take probably 5 to 10 grams of protein per day, which is perfectly fine. I don't think that matters. I think the better thing is like in the full grand scope of everything, you're on track. You can crumble it into whatever size that you want. Your world, and you're cooking for yourself. Unless you're cooking for someone else, and then you should probably ask what they want. Sometimes I will use a stainless steel pan, and then I'll go in with this thing. This is a like potato masher, and then you just sit there and mash it. That gets really small pieces. I don't really feel like doing that, so we're doing this. And like I said, I'm going to add some garlic powder. Even though I'm adding actual garlic, I like to. They're different flavors, you know? It's not the same. It's a little bit different. And I keep the seasonings pretty simple since I'm not fully meal prepping and I'm just ingredient prepping. This is what takes the longest whenever you're cooking something, unless you're cooking pasta or like, but most of the time, cooking your chicken, your beef, and your rice takes the longest. Like vegetables do not take that long to cook. If you ingredient prep like this, you can portion it out, you know exactly how much you have. And then if you want to make a stir fry, you just throw in vegetables, get your rice, get your protein, throw it in, and boom, you're done. Like it takes maybe like 5 to 10 minutes to cook something versus 30 minutes, 6 hours, and probably 30 minutes also. And then it makes it so you don't have to be as boring and eat the same exact meal every single day. When you meal prep 6 days, I feel like it gets old by that 6th day. That's just my thought on it. And that is also why I keep this to just salt, pepper, garlic, because if I want to make it more like Chipotle style, I'll add some taco seasoning in it when I'm like reheating it. Or if I want it to be a little more like Korean ground beef, I'll add some like gochujang and like Korean spices. Or if I want like some sort of Chinese broccoli and beef, I'll add soy sauce and oyster sauce, or Japanese barbecue sauce. Having the simple salt, pepper, garlic usually goes with everything. So that's why I keep it at that. So now that this is getting pretty close to being no pink left, I'm going to open a hole in the center, take my garlic press, and just smash in all of the garlic. And just scrape off the rest of it. I let the garlic kind of cook a little bit in the heat. You let it cook for like a minute, and then you'll start actually smelling the garlic. Once you start really smelling the garlic and it's like releasing the flavors, that's when you mix it all in. And usually it's about 60 seconds. Like I can smell it right now. So now I just go in and then mix it all up. And just like that, the ground beef is done. So I just turn off the heat and I just let this sit here and cool down. And then I'll eventually, imagine it's a pie and you're cutting it into 6 pieces. I'll just eyeball that and then put it into 6 deli containers. They're like this size. So chicken is here. If you don't have a digital thermometer like this, honestly, just let it go for the entire 6 hours. It will be cooked by then. After 6 hours of cooking, you're gonna be safe. But FDA regulates that it should be cooked to 165. So if I poke this, it is showing 164.4, which is good enough for me. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to grab a bowl, grab some tongs, and then just fish out the chicken. Now don't dump this right away, and I'll show you why. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can take 2 forks, and you just go in, and it just shreds. That's also a good way to tell if it's done. Like if it shreds like that and it's all white, it's done. Now, if you do have a stand mixer, this is my Baby Blue stand mixer. It's very nice. I take this paddle attachment, bring it up, and then I put it on low, just so it's not chicken flying everywhere, right? And then I'll slowly speed it up. And that took, what, 30 seconds? Everything is fully shredded and ready for whatever. So we're back over here, and with our liquid, I like to just take, I don't want to waste all this liquid, so let's just, it's all just green salsa, right? So I'm gonna take some of it and mix it back in. And that makes it a little more, I don't know, moist. And with the liquid redispersed, I like to just give it one extra toss around, make sure it gets everywhere. Timer just went off on the rice, so I turned the rice off. There is my chicken. So here's my 3 pounds of chicken. Here's my 3 pounds of ground beef. And here's my 8 servings of rice, but this will work for 4 meals because I do 2 servings each. And that is literally all I do for meal prep during the week, because everything else I will cook on the spot. I'll just portion these out into things, and by things I mean these, and it's just ready to go whenever I want to eat something. I hope that's helpful. I'll just show you what the rice looks like, because I guess I haven't showed you that. You can see the rice cooked almost perfectly. You leave this lid on for another like 10 to 15 minutes after the timer goes off, and that will just like finish the cooking process, and then it's just ready to go. That is Chef Mike cooking the most basic of meals, and I hope you like it. And if you want to try it out, go for it. This is 6 days worth of meals for $9, and the beef was 18, so like 20, 25, 30 bucks. That's my meal prep. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I guess I never really did a post-gym talk, but that's okay. You guys are awesome.